sorry. I was reminiscing about some of the old school music that I really used to enjoy a lot. That was an old friend. That was Tupac Shakur with his "How Do You Want It." The lyrics are a little bit more lively than I'd like to have on my channel, so I just like the instrumental version. Who am I? By the way, I've been known as the Baron of Bromides, the Wizard of Wisdom, but my favorite appellation is the Prince of Positivity. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back, those of you that have been here before, and the new friends that I'm going to be meeting over this time. Welcome. I am pretty excited actually about starting this channel. Now, this channel's been around for a while, but actually, I am in this full time now. I'm taking this really, really very seriously. So I'm going to be basically cleaning house, if you will. I'm not going to take down any of the previous presentations that I have on the channel. So you can see sort of the growth and development of where I've been and then where I'm going. I'm going to be right here with you 3 times a week, without fail, every week, giving my take, if you will, on what's happening in the world. Now, being the, I think, resident historian that I am, I'm going to be talking about a lot of different things. So there will be some political commentary. There'll be sports commentary. There'll be kind of everything here. Now, I'm fairly opinionated, but I am willing to listen, and I'm excited about. Did I mention like and subscribe? I'm excited about the conversations that I expect us to have. Now, as I just mentioned, I'm tremendously opinionated, but I am willing to listen and learn. And you will hear me say a lot of times, rescue me if I'm wrong. I'm going to give an opinion. I'm looking for you to interact with me, and so I'm excited about hearing what it is that you have to say. So, whether I'm talking about peace in the Middle East, oxymoron, or the gentleman who now is president of the United States, sports, who's the greatest in basketball or football or anything else, we're going to talk about it right here. I'm, again, tremendously excited about it. So, as I said, oftentimes people call me the Baron of Bromides, the Wizard of Wisdom, or as I prefer, the Prince of Positivity. But be respectful. That's all I ask. Just be respectful. So, top 5 items on my list today. Suspected CEO killer is a scion of a wealthy Baltimore family. Now, isn't that interesting? This gentleman, Luigi Mangione, seems that he had if you're not up on it, he apparently is the suspect in the murder of the CEO of United Healthcare. So apparently they caught him. I'm amazed that they caught him for a couple of reasons. Number one, it seems that he's a fairly intelligent gentleman. Apparently went to an Ivy League school, had private school, high school education, not only has a bachelor's degree, but holds a master's degree as well. So as far as conventional wisdom would say, it would say that he's actually a fairly intelligent gentleman. Number 2 was all of the planning that went into him basically hunting down this Brian Thompson, I believe his name was, the CEO, the unfortunate gentleman who is now passed away. It took a lot of planning to literally execute the plan. And it seemed that, at least to a certain extent, he had a getaway plan. Now, I always wonder what goes through the minds of a lot of these sort of master criminals guys. They go through the planning, they go through the setup, and then they don't have a way of escaping. So it makes me wonder, it's either one, you didn't think that far ahead, which is kind of hard to believe, because I would have thought that you'd be in Guatemala or Mexico or someplace where there's no extradition. Once you know that you've committed a high-level crime like that, you have to know that this is a one-way trip. That you know, you're not going back to. I mean, he was caught in Altoona at a McDonald's. I mean, that begs the question: did you really think this through? I mean, if they found you and you were in a McDonald's, but in El Salvador, that I could understand because you had a plan. So it makes me wonder whether you're even trying to escape, or maybe you were thinking that somehow you weren't seen at all and that you'd sort of blend into the woodwork of the life that you had been leading, and you were just going to kind of go back to being a well-placed and well-privileged person. So it does raise a lot of questions. I mean, what do you think? It's clear that he had an agenda. I wonder if we'll find out about it at the trial. So I'm kind of interested to see where this goes. Phase 2. What else is going on in the world? Apparently, President-elect Trump has now made a decision. I mean, that's kind of what it looks like to me. That he doesn't want to lose that person called Pete Hegseth as his Secretary of Defense. So it's really funny to see all of the senators, especially the Republican ones, when you hear about the background of these highly unqualified people, say that the president has his right to have the people in place that he wants, and then they're, jumping through hoops to make it sound like these people are more impressive than they are, because it's clear when you look at the resume that 90% of them are not qualified. But hey, the guy won, so if he won, then you put them in. But it's just going to be interesting because if there's anything that I've learned in life, and I know for a fact that it doesn't change. I mean, I don't care what your political stripe is, but there are certain things that are just true. Character always matters. It always has. It always will. And so those of you that chose to put the leadership of this country in the direction that you chose, be prepared for the consequences. That's all I'm saying. Because character always matters. So if you want to kid yourself that it was about the economy, okay. But character always matters. And so, I think it reminds me of that old bromide, that old story about the scorpion and the frog. And, those of you that don't know it, one time there was a frog that's about to cross a river. And as he's about to swim across the river, as frogs do, a scorpion comes up beside him and says, hey, I really need to get to the other side of the river too. Would you mind giving me a ride? And so the frog, looks at him and says, well, hey, no disrespect, buddy, but you're a scorpion. And what scorpions do is you have that stinger there. You're going to sting me. And if you sting me, I'll get killed. So no, I'm not going to give you a ride. And he says, hey, look, come on. I need to get to the other side. You're going to the other side. Why don't you give me a ride? And look, I promise, I won't sting you. I know I'm a scorpion, but I won't sting you. Because if I sting you, we'll both drown. And so the frog thought about it for a moment, and then he says, that makes sense. Okay. So, scorpion gets on, the frog starts to go across the river. And they're swimming along, and they're talking, and they get about halfway across. And all of a sudden, the frog feels this really sharp pain right in the middle of his back. Oh. And then he realizes the scorpion has stung him. And so now, as he starts to become paralyzed, and he realizes that, oh no, I'm going to die. With his last words, he turns and he looks at the scorpion, and he says, hey, why did you sting me? Now we're both going to drown. We're both going to die. And the scorpion, with his last words, because yeah, he's going to drown, he says, "I'm sorry, but I couldn't help it. It's my nature. It's who I am." And they both die. Just saying. Character always matters. Always has. Always will. Let me know what you think. Put your comments down there. Like and subscribe. Let's talk about it. While we go toward making America great again. And by the way, like I said, I'm an independent politically, so Democrat, Republican, I don't get all hyped up about that, but please let me know when America was actually great. I've been struggling to try to find an answer to that for 8 years. I have found no one that can tell me what that means. When America was great. Because as far as the history books that I know of and I'm aware of, America has been in turmoil in one way or another while it was quote unquote trying to strive for greatness since 1619 or so. It's been trouble here, whether it be through the colonial era and through the early days of the American Republic, all the way up until the Civil War, all the way up until the Spanish-American War, World War I, World War II, the Civil Rights era. There's always been issues here. So please, someone help me. When was America great? Let me know. Put it in the comments. Right after you like and subscribe. Alrighty. And for phase 3, let's see what's going on in the world today. Phase 3. In world news, it appears that Syrians are really excited about the fact that Bashar al-Assad is no longer in power. That is interesting. It seems that he kind of got rolled out of there pretty quickly after 14 years. So, must have been my guess is some well-funded so-called freedom fighters, because the whole freedom fighter thing depends on which side of the spectrum you're on. If you're in the government, then whoever's coming against you is a terrorist, and then if you're out of the government and you're trying to replace what you believe is an evil government or an evil regime, you don't even call them a government, you call them a regime, and then you're a freedom fighter trying to liberate the country from the regime. So, how that goes. It's about perspective. But let me know what you think about that. I heard a lot of scuttlebutt saying that this was backed by the United States, under the table with the CIA, maybe Israel, so that they can cause more havoc in Syria, get rid of Bashar al-Assad, so that Israel can expand and take more land, of course, for its own security. I don't know. Eventually the truth will come out. But it's an interesting turn of events. And remember, one of the first missives I mentioned to you early on was that we're going to talk about peace in the Middle East, and I said that was kind of an oxymoron. So what do you think about that? Is it a genocide or not that's going on in Gaza? Just saying. Looks like one, smells like one, sounds like one, but you got people, it's controversial to say that. So let me know what you think. I'm just a man asking questions. Phase 4, Jay-Z. Ooh, man, oh man, did you hear about that one? It's accused of being in an illicit activity with Sean Diddy Combs 20 years ago with a 13-year-old minor. Mm. Well, I don't know, Jay-Z. Mr. Carter, Sean Carter. I hope you didn't do that thing, man. Again, I don't know. I wasn't there, obviously. Um, I don't know, though. People are bringing cases out saying that what was hidden now will be brought to the forefront. So, I don't know. What do you think? Certain things going on, right? I mean, just going through everything that's going on right for the holiday season. Just all kinds of things, all kinds of turmoil out there. Well, anyway, I think that's about enough for now. As I said to you, I am really, really excited about the way things are going, and I am determined to get this channel up and running seriously now. I kind of have been on this channel previous, like I said, it's been the better part of a year, but I've been mostly looking at it from a standpoint of like it's Facebook. But I'm here. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.